Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. In this video, I traveled all the way to Portland, Oregon to visit Clever Cycle and attend their G-Line preview event. And they actually gave me a chance to take it out for a spin to do this video review. So let's get right into it. All the details, thoughts, impressions of this new 20-inch folding bike. And this is the brand new G-Line. So it is not going to be here in the States yet until spring of next year, but Brompton's doing a special event here at Clever Cycles where people get to test ride them, and that includes me today. So I just wanted to show you all the bike and some of the new features. So let's go in and take a look. So obviously the biggest difference here is going to be these new 20-inch wheels. I'll have a lot of other side-by-side shots, but they are really big in comparison. And then they come now with the Schwalbe G1 tires that are a little knobby, pretty useful for terrain like gravel. And then as well as, of course, the new hydraulic disc brakes here, both on the front and the rear. And then since you're in this location already, the interesting about the G-Line is that it takes a lot of sort of things from the P-Line as well and T-Line, one of which is these self-aligning hinge clamps here. So you see them both here as well as its actual folding mechanism. It uses like a nipple, similar to sort of how the T-Line works. But let's come up here to the cockpit, and then you'll notice this whole brand new stem. It's a very interesting, almost like a gooseneck shape. But one cool thing about the stem is that it has bottle bosses built right into it now. So no more needing separate bags. You can put your bottle cages right here. And then coming to the cockpit, you'll notice that it is an extra wide handlebar, as well as there's these new Brompton grips now. So these are all Brompton branded. It's nice with a place for you to rest your palm. And then with the actual drivetrain and brakes, this is using the 8-speed Shimano Alpine hub. So we'll get a good look at that later, but you'll see that here, as well as you have these micro shift hydraulic disc brake levers. So yeah, going to that rear hub and the drivetrain here, it's just going to be 8-speed IGH. And then I think the default comes with a 54T there, and then 22 sprocket in the back. So 5420 with the Shimano Alpine hub as well with 8 speeds. So I think that is about like a 300% gear range. And then here we have the pedals. There's a new set of wide platform super light pedals, but these ones I see here are just the normal ones, and also with the quick release system that you can see here, as this is where you mount your pedal after you're done. And then one more thing is here with the new G-Line roller rack here. We can notice that these wheels are really, really big. It rolls extremely well. It's these ones, they have, yeah, I can't get over how well it rolls when it's folded. But yeah, it's similar design to the roller rack already for the P and T line, but obviously upsized to scale work for this. So this is also a very big standout feature. Of course, fenders and everything, and then with a rear reflector built into the roller rack. So yeah, I think that covers all the rough features of the bike. And to give you a better sense of the scale and size of this new bicycle, I'm standing here right next to them. I'm about 5'4.5", and yeah, it's really hard to gauge just from the dimensions online, so I'm hoping this drone POV sort of helps out with that. And then here as well, I'll have them folded, sort of a similar thing. So definitely here is where you notice the real difference, as the width of it really stands out to me, as there's some spacing in between. But with that said, let's move on to the quintessential question. So in terms of how this folds, so this bike is about 5 pounds heavier than the C-Line. So this is about 30 pounds versus the C-Line at a nice 25 pounds or so. I want to see how different it would be to actually fold it. So let's see if I can give this a go. So here, yeah, it's actually quite similar. It's just literally upsized Brompton. So I mean, I'm very used to folding and unfolding my normal Brompton. Okay, that one didn't align on itself, but I think it just goes in like this, and that's clamped in there. And you take out the pedal, and then that's it. So I'll do the unfolding as well since I'm here, but that can where it's fit, and you're good to go. You'll notice a pretty decent, I mean, on its face, it's probably not that much bigger, but it feels a lot bigger. So putting it right next to me like this, it definitely the profile of it feels a lot bigger. Weight-wise, actually, that's where I'm a little bit more impressed. I personally can't hold 30 pounds for that long, but it doesn't feel that much heavier than a normal Brompton. But in terms of just lugging it around, a little bit on the awkward side for me at least. Yeah, let's try unfolding it as well before we get on our ride. So same as usual, it's really easy with the self-aligning clamps here, and then really just works the same as a normal Brompton. So we'll try the one motion. It's very doable, but I had to be super intentional to lift it higher than I normally would with a Brompton. But I'm sure if you actually own this bike, you would get the hang of it really quick. And if you aren't on too much the shorter end, it'll be very easy to work with. But that's it. So just as easy as a normal Brompton, I would say. And yeah, I think we're ready for a ride. So let's go see how it does. And I think as you get on and start pedaling, and I'm even going over some of these cracks in the pavement, it's just so noticeable the difference in feeling from a normal Brompton. This basically is like a normal bike. It's just way more stable and just not that usual type of handling that you get with the Brompton. Definitely comes with a lot more stability. And then the other key thing you'll notice right away is definitely with the braking. So I'm gonna brake in a second here. And with the hydraulic disc brakes, you get that usual modulation now that if you're used to riding that in road bikes or any setups that you get. But yeah, here it's just going over some more of this rough pavement here. Like check this out, these rocks here. I'm just going at it with no issues. Bike sort of bumping around, car up. But this is, I think, just how it goes now with the G-Line. Just handling stuff like this, no problem. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to get to some gravel in the near term, but I'd be fairly confident in this in like more normal sort of off-road situations. I don't really do any mountain bikes or anything like that, but yeah, I can see how this would fit in with a lot of those sort of hard-packed gravel trails or anything like that.
So admittedly, I didn't get to test ride this for all too long and all different types of terrain, but on the stock configuration here with the 2.1-inch tires, definitely the things that stand out the most is just comfort and stability. These tires also are tubeless compatible, so if you are going to go down that route, you can also sort of lower the PSI even further and increasing the compliance even more. And then the second standout thing about riding it, I'd say, is definitely the disc brakes. Living in a wet environment, these 140mm rotors work just fine, and coming onto from rim brakes for so long Brompton, definitely you can sense the improvement in stopping power. But in terms of things you might be losing out on in terms of the actual ride experience is that it probably isn't nearly as sort of agile as the old Brompton, as well as it's not particularly any really faster, like some people like to say to me, especially only because that this bike is a decent bit heavier and features a lot wider tires with higher rolling resistance than the 16-inch Bromptons. So the way I would personally think about this bike is that if you're in the need of sort of a all-round bicycle, just a typical one that is a lot more approachable and easy to ride and handles cracked pavement like what we were just doing before, which I would not just slam into on my Brompton, or just sort of more simpler off-road situations, then I'd say yeah, this is a really nice sort of all-in-one solution, as well as of course it features the signature 3-way fold, which is brings it down a lot and I think here in the States it'll be a heavily great use case, especially for those that want to sort of put it in the car or other modes of transport or storage that can fit a somewhat larger package. But yeah, that's all I had for today. Definitely huge shout out to Clever Cycles and Brompton for hosting that event. Definitely go check them out and tell them I sent you. And yeah, hope to make more videos like this. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the G-Line, what other questions you have, and I'll try to answer them. And I'll see you all in the next one.